Sales outreach strategies, SEO as a booster. SEO and outbound aren't separate anymore. In B2B, it's tempting to treat SEO as marketing's job and outreach as sales' job. But buyers don't experience your company in departments. They experience one storyline, the email or call that interrupts their day, followed by the search they do to decide whether you're credible. When those two moments reinforce each other, your outreach stops feeling cold and starts feeling timely. Today, 67% of the B2B buyer journey happens digitally, and 77% of buyers won't talk to a salesperson until they've done their own research. If your SDR team is running outbound while your search presence is weak or inconsistent, you're asking prospects to take a leap of faith after a single touch point. At SalesHive, we think about SEO as a force multiplier for outreach. It makes every cold email, cold call, and LinkedIn touch land on warmer ground. This is especially true for teams working with a cold calling agency, a cold email agency, or any outsourced sales team, where speed and consistency matter, and first impressions happen in search results. Why search behavior makes or breaks outreach. B2B buyers start on their own, not with your calendar link. Research shows 72% begin their purchasing journey online and review an average of 11 pieces of content before contacting a vendor. That means your outreach is often the spark, but search and content are the evidence prospects use to validate or reject your claims. Organic discovery is also the biggest lever you can pull if you want more accidental warmth in outbound. Roughly 53% of all website traffic comes from organic search, and 85% of B2B decision makers say they trust organic results more than paid ads. In practical terms, a prospect who Googles you after a voicemail is more likely to believe what they see in rankings, snippets, and review-like pages than what you wrote in your sequence. Finally, mediocre rankings are functionally invisible. About 96 to 99% of Google clicks happen on the first page, and less than 1% reach page 2. If your brand and problem intent pages don't show up where buyers click, even excellent B2B cold calling services and well-crafted scripts will fight unnecessary friction after every touch. Use SEO as air cover for SDRs. The most reliable way to make outreach work harder is aligning what SDRs say with what buyers find. Think of SEO as air cover. Your SDR agency, or in-house SDRs, are the ground troops creating conversations, and SEO is the support that softens the target by pre-building familiarity, credibility, and clarity around the problem you solve. Alignment starts with language. The headline on your highest-ranking pages should match the pain and promise in your cold email and cold call services talk tracks, including the words buyers use, not internal jargon. When an SDR references reducing churn or forecast accuracy, and the prospect sees those exact concepts reinforced in titles, meta descriptions, and explainer content, reply rates and show rates rise because the buyer feels understood. This is also where sales outsourcing can shine when it's coordinated with marketing. A high-velocity outbound sales agency can test pain angles quickly, while SEO captures the winning language in durable pages that rank, earn trust, and keep paying off across future sequences. Done right, you're not choosing between outbound now and SEO later. You're building an engine where each channel strengthens the other. Build sales-ready SEO assets, not just marketing content. If you want SEO to boost meetings, build content for SDR workflows, not vanity metrics. Ask your cold callers which objections stall deals and which questions dominate first calls. Then translate those into pages that can rank and be shared in sequences. When buyers typically interact with at least 10 to 13 pieces of content before a decision, your outreach should guide them to the right pieces at the right moment. A practical starting point is auditing what prospects see when they Google your brand, your core category terms, and 2 or 3 high-intent pain phrases. Capture what shows up on page 1, then fix mismatches fast. Update page titles, tighten meta descriptions, and make sure your above-the-fold message matches your SDR script. This is where many teams accidentally sabotage great outbound by sending a compelling email from one domain and showing a confusing or contradictory story in search. Next, ship a small library of assets that reps can confidently send within 30 to 45 days. A problem explainer, an ROI or savings calculator, a comparison/checklist page, and an objection-busting article. These aren't nice-to-have blog posts. They're sales tools that also happen to rank, and they're especially valuable for teams that hire SDRs quickly or operate with an outsourced B2B sales model where repeatable enablement matters. Every cold touch gets judged twice, once in the inbox and again in search. If those two stories don't match, you lose trust before you ever earn a meeting. Wire content into Cadences so every touch adds value. SEO boosts outreach only when SDRs actually use the content. The simplest operating rule is this: every second or third touch in a sequence should include a relevant asset link that helps the buyer think, not another generic bump that asks for time again. The goal is to earn micro-commitments, a click, a skim, a saved link, that make the eventual meeting feel like the natural next step. To keep it consistent across an outbound sales agency, a sales development agency, or your internal team, define which assets map to each stage of intent and objection. Then add short talk tracks in your playbooks so reps know how to tee up the asset in a voicemail, on a live call, or in a follow-up email without sounding like they're dumping content. This approach also improves unit economics. Inbound and SEO-driven leads cost about 61% less than outbound on average, and inbound programs can double site conversion rates. So your content doesn't just support meetings, it reduces the cost per meeting over time. That's why pay-per-meeting lead generation models often perform best when the underlying credibility layer, search plus content, is strong. Common mistakes that keep SEO from helping sales. The first mistake is treating SEO and outbound like separate universes. Marketing reports rankings and traffic. Sales reports meetings and pipeline, and nobody owns the overlap. The fix is operational, not philosophical. Build joint plays where SDR outreach references specific search-optimized assets and review results in a weekly SEO plus SDR huddle, so both teams see what content actually moves conversations forward. The second mistake is optimizing only for top-of-funnel keywords that don't help sales teams talk to decision makers with active projects. That's how you get educational content reps are embarrassed to send. Prioritize problem intent and commercial intent terms aligned to your ICP, and build mid and bottom-of-funnel pages, comparisons, calculators, implementation guides that make a buyer's evaluation easier. The third mistake is misalignment between outreach messaging and what Google shows, especially when you outsource sales or run multiple sending domains. If your cold email says one thing, but your meta titles, snippets, and landing pages say something else, buyers smell risk and slow roll you. Align your positioning across sequences, core pages, and branded SERPs so your cold calling team and your website tell the same story. Measure SEO's impact on meetings and pipeline, not just traffic. If you only measure SEO by form fills, you'll underinvest in the channel that's quietly improving outbound response. Many prospects who reply to a sequence don't convert because of a single email. They convert because they searched, skimmed, and validated in between touches. Your reporting should capture organic assisted influence, branded search lift, pre-meeting visits from target accounts, and opportunities where at least one organic session happened before the meeting was booked. Build a shared funnel view that connects organic entrances by account, outbound touches, and meetings or opportunities created. This is where search data becomes a sales weapon. Google Search Console queries, internal site search terms, and high-performing organic pages reveal how buyers describe pains in their own words. Use that language to refine talk tracks, personalize outreach, and decide which vertical plays deserve dedicated sequences. It's also worth noting how broadly SEO is now treated as a pipeline lever. Between 81 to 96% of B2B marketers say SEO is important or effective for lead generation, and that consensus is useful because it signals where competitors are investing. If you're evaluating a B2B sales agency, SDR agencies, or a cold calling services partner, ask how they coordinate with your SEO content so replies, meetings, and pipeline attribution all line up. What changes in 2025? Generative search, faster validation, higher standards. Buyers increasingly ask AI tools for vendor shortlists before they ever click a traditional search result, which raises the bar for clarity and structure. Your content needs to be easy to summarize accurately. Clear definitions, direct comparisons, concrete frameworks, and genuinely helpful guidance on how to choose and best tools for queries. If AI summaries keep recommending the same few vendors for your category, you want your brand to be one of them when your outreach lands. The timeline is also more actionable than most teams think. If your site is established and you align messaging plus publish a handful of sales-ready assets, you can often see SEO-assisted impact on Outbound within 60 to 90 days, even before net new rankings fully mature. More significant organic volume typically takes longer, but the credibility and conversion lift can show up quickly because prospects validate you immediately after touches. The best next step is a focused pilot. Pick 25 to 50 target accounts, map likely search intent, publish 2 to 3 tightly aligned pages, and run coordinated outreach across email, calls, and LinkedIn. Whether you run this in-house or through a B2B sales outsourcing partner, the goal is the same. Build a repeatable system where SEO reduces resistance, outreach creates demand, and both teams share the same scoreboard.